talking. Tinubu is not my president and will never be. See the famous activist who said this, Abi. We know now, we've heard it over and over. It's Aisha Yesufu because we've seen how Tinubu came to power. It is not by the will of the people. He subverted the will of the people. He rigged himself by paying heavily to INEC and buying INEC over, and now has bought the judiciary over from head to toe. So it's obvious that Nigeria is on faulty foundation. And if INEC cannot be independent and judiciary cannot be independent, the law enforcement agents cannot be independent, then Nigeria is finished. Everybody, all of them are in the pocket of Tinubu. Quite a very messy situation that we just found ourselves. So anybody saying that Tinubu is not his president, well, even though Tinubu has been sworn in as president, has the right to say so because of the injustice that has been done to the electoral system in Nigeria. Activist Aisha Yesufu has said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, is not her president and will never be. Okay? Aisha asserted in an interview with the media personality show Kimbaloye that President Tinubu stole the electorate's mandate in the February 25, 2023 presidential election by purportedly rigging his way into office. In her words, Aisha Yesufu, I am saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not win 2023 election. He rigged his way to be declared the one with the majority votes. For me, that is a political coup, a civilian coup. That is the mandate of the people that was stolen. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu will never be my president, not my president. Exactly. Giving up following the Presidential Election Tribunal's ruling, according to activist and Citizens Hub founder Aisha Yesufu, is not an option. Okay? All eyes are now on the top court, she continued. This was said by her in a post on her X page on Wednesday in response to the tribunal's decision to dismiss the multiple petitions submitted by Peter Obi and the Labour Party challenging President Bola Tinubu's election victory on February 25. What is the way forward for Nigeria? A user of X had said on his page. Responding, Yesufu said a setback is an opportunity to consolidate and keep going. Immediate action, giving up is not an option. A setback is an opportunity to consolidate and keep going, she said. So all eyes now on Supreme Court. Mop for a day or two and keep going. Then time to all get into politics. Focus on the legislative arm and judiciary. Begin to get people in. Focus on the wins so far and use it to motivate self. Most importantly, do not do it because it needs to be done. Do it because you want to do it. That way you are self-motivated and do not care about people's validation or gratitude. At the end, remember that history is now while living it, and also it takes a few to get to the end, even though many started. So that is what she's saying. And actually, the thing is very terrible that we're in this condition at this moment. Aisha got frustrated because she happened to be at the court by herself. She happened to witness the judgment in court directly and saw how the tribunal judgment was read like a baby reading a primary school lesson note. Okay, the Justice Haruna Samani was just chewing his tongue, chewing his teeth, could not pronounce words very well, could not compose himself, could not read clearly. We saw how one of the lawyers tried to ask him questions. He shouted on him and shut him down. And we saw that the judgment he was reading was not written by him or by the 5-man team of the tribunal panel. You see? So with all of that, and you saw how the longest time it took almost over 11 hours, and we saw how people were sleeping. Almost everybody in the court, including the owners of the petitioners, everybody slept. And it was terrible, okay, because they did it that way to frustrate the people. Okay, so Aisha Yesufu, having witnessed the kind of judgment that was read line by line, you know that Nigeria is finished. You know that that judgment was not written by the tribunal. It must have been written by some other people elsewhere and given to the to Haruna to read for Nigerians. And the worst of all is to see that at the end of the day, they released the certified true copy of the judgment, only to find Tinubu's legal team name on the document that is called certified true copy. So what does that tell everybody? That that document must have been given to Tinubu group ahead of the tribunal judgment reading, or they were privy to contribute to the writing of the judgment. Okay, that is what we saw there. Because on no condition should Tinubu's presidential legal team, okay, TPLT name appear on that document as if it is their own document on the header. That is not allowed. Okay, so with all that transpired from the election time to how INEC declared Tinubu winner to the how the tribunal was constituted and how the proceedings were held, and up till now that the judgment was read, everything is in shambles. Everything is in shambles. Rigging in progress. They have rigged the election. They rigged the INEC. Now they have rigged the judiciary. Okay, at appeal court level. We are waiting to see what will happen at the Supreme Court level. And we all know that the judiciary has also been rigged at the Supreme Court level ahead, because we've seen the list of the 13 Supreme Court justices that will preside over the matter, and they are all almost like APC candidates. We've seen them. Starting from number 1, which is the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, which is Oluka Ariwola. He himself is already a Tinubu boy in Tinubu's pocket. So there's nothing good that's going to come out of that judgment. But people will just go to that level to just register that the case has been followed to the end, and this is the condition, and establish the condition of the judiciary in Nigeria. We've seen that INEC is useless. We've also seen that judiciary has started showing that they're also useless, and all the impression that Nigerians have held about the judiciary before now, that it is corrupt and nothing good will come out of it, is already holding water, already proven to be correct. Okay, and that's exactly what we have seen. So with all of this put together, Aisha Yesufu has been an actor, has been a very active participant in all of this process, has seen it all, and for her to get frustrated, and not only she's not the only person frustrated, almost all Nigerians are frustrated. So for everybody to be frustrated like this, you know that truly it is a very bad precedent that has been set by Tinubu and APC and INEC and judiciary in Nigeria. They say judiciary is the hope of common man, or last hope of the common man. It is not. It is the hope of the big man, the hope of the politicians, and not the common man anymore. Because in the case of the highest bidder, if you don't have money, you can't have justice. That is the truth. Quite unfortunate. So Aisha Yesufu has said it out of frustration, and nobody should blame her for saying it. It is what it is. Okay. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.